This whiskey is Dublin born and raised.
That's right. This week we're looking at the Roe Co Solera single malt. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt. I'm the whiskey nerd.
I'm Rose and I'm whiskey noob.
And like we said, this week we're looking at the Roe Co Solera single malt. So we get it into the glasses and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Now, first off, I will say they did send me this bottle for free. I don't know if you can see it on camera there. It says Merry Christmas. They sent it to me at the end of last year for as a Christmas present. So I will say I did get this whiskey for free, but
I didn't get any whiskey.
No, it's my whiskey. But I guess I'll share some with you. Yeah, it's a nice little whiskey. They did send it to me for free, but it's an independent review. They didn't ask me to do a review or anything like that. And
no one asked me anything.
No one asked you anything. No. So yeah, this is a Dublin born and raised whiskey. So do you know why that's special?
I'm assuming it was made in Dublin.
Yes. So yeah, see, it's made in Dublin. So Roe Co up to I think this launch had been sourcing whiskey or blending it with some of their own whiskey. This how though is entirely their own whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was a bit of confusion when they launched it. Some of the marketing material was saying it contains some of the first whiskey ever distilled.
Oh, and that makes it sound like it was blended with other whiskey.
Stuff, but they were just kind of writing marketing copy that would last for forever because this is a Solera whiskey. And do you know what a Solera system is?
Oh gosh, that's where you take a little bit out, refill it, take a little bit out, refill it.
Kind of like what we do with our little mini cask here. We never fully empty it.
Yeah.
So what happens is it goes through, in this case, it's 4 different levels of casks.
Yeah.
I'll explain those casks in a minute, but basically you put the whiskey through all the casks and then you empty out the bottom barrel, but you don't fully empty it, and you refill the whiskey, and then you put new whiskey over the top.
Ah, cool.
So the idea being there that if you don't empty the bottom barrel, let's say you empty 90% of it, and you refill it, then the next time you empty that bottle, it's then you take out another 90%, 1% of the original whiskey is there, and so it always
it's like an infinity bottle.
Like an infinity bottle, and that's kind of what they meant with as in this will always have a little bit of that first ever whiskey. They did clarify later on to be okay, this is fully our spirit, but some people got confused by that, but no, it's clarified that it is fully their own whiskey distilled on site.
Yeah.
It has been aged in 4 different types of casks as well.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, so it actually has a little bit of a picture there.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's a single malt whiskey. 100% single malt, 100% malted barley, and it was aged in 4 different casks. First fill and refill American ex-bourbon casks. Yeah. It was aged in Alligator char.
What?
Which is, Alligator char is where you really, really char and toast a barrel, so it gets really crackly on the inside. So it really unlocks a lot of the, the vanilla, the caramel, the really oaky notes from it. Then it was aged in chestnut casks. So,
what?
Yeah, so this is really fun. So they have fun casks. So the chestnut casks, I think you've never had a whiskey that was aged in chestnut casks.
I don't think so. I'm still stuck on this Alligator. Now you're throwing chestnut at me.
And then it was aged in ex-sherry casks. For
something normal.
So I think the top and the bottom are the normal ones, and the middle 2 are where you might get the skews and the interesting kind of different
Alligator.
It's just a term for alligator because it looks like a.
So there's nothing actually alligator in there.
No, it just the inside of the barrel starts because it starts cracking.
Yeah.
So it looks kind of like
alligator skin.
It looks like alligator skin. Yeah. I'll see if I can put a picture of what that barrel kind of looks like up there.
That's cool.
But those are the 4 different casks. So as the whiskey progresses through them, it picks up new flavors, and then obviously the sherry cask is the bottom, and then it empties out, and then they refill.
I'm immediately wondering if because of that char, it's going to taste like a slightly over roasted marshmallow. I don't know why, but that's what I'm thinking.
You might get that extra char toasty note. It comes in at 46%.
My favorite.
ABV, so it is a nice drinkable whiskey. I don't think it's got any colour added to it. Now, this one is a bottle that could be sold in Europe and doesn't say it has colour added to it.
So
I
probably
think
doesn't?
Probably doesn't have
because
colour added.
the whole Germany rule, right?
Yeah, and it's non-chill filters. So it's just a nice little whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of all there is about it. Lora Hemy, the head distiller at Roe Co, she's a really nice lady. We, with the society, went to Roe Co and had an event there. We had a dinner. We tried some of the whiskies.
Oh, is that from when I was there?
Yes, and that was when we tried this whiskey
Whoa.
at cask strength. But we tried tastes from they weren't telling us what it was. It was before this whiskey was launched, but they pulled little bits from the Alligator char, little bits from like the chestnut, and said, okay, do you want to taste these?
Yeah, that was like over a year ago.
Yeah, so they've been working on this for a long time.
Okay.
And it is kind of, I think, one of their projects that they're really happy about because it's all their own whiskey. Yeah.
Nice.
So I think we'll just go in.
Yes, let's do it.
For the nose. Let's launch it.
Cheers. Oh, I already started to drink. I'm like, what does alligator char and chestnut taste like?
First off, what does it smell like?
It smells really nice.
Yeah, it is.
It smells like super like, you know, like sometimes you smell it and it's like boom, 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 and they smell like really distinct things.
Yeah.
This smells like someone took a bunch of stuff and like actually like melded it together.
Yeah, like it does have, like it's definitely like a single malt. You get these like malted, roasted grains, like the kind of biscuity notes.
We're just drinking. It smells really nice.
Control yourself, woman. There's a job to do. We'll see if that makes sense to the edit.
It really should.
But yeah, no, it's, if you're nosing it, yeah, it is like really malty. Like you get these grainy biscuits, but at the same time, like there's this creamy kind of roundness to it.
Yeah, there's like that connection. There's a roundness. There's like a sweetness in it, but it's not like sweet. It's a complex.
Yeah.
It's a complex girl.
There is a lot of like oak there, but it's not overwhelming. It's not.
No, it's yummy oak.
Yeah, it's like there's oak flavor, there's oak char, but it's not like the only thing. That there's actually a bit of, I would say, like stewed apple or like stewed pears.
Yeah, I can see that.
Orchard fruits kind of note with like the cinnamon with the baking spices.
Or like a cookie.
Yeah, what kind of cookie?
I don't know. A biscuit. Let's just do different words for cookie. It reminds me of like if we're sitting in front of like a fireplace having like a little nibbles, maybe, well, it's Merry Christmas, on like Christmas Eve, or like when it's snowy outside and you're just nibbling with your whiskey in front of a fireplace.
I was thinking almost like a vanilla sugar cookie.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Like it's malty biscuits, but with the icing you put on top.
Yes.
That kind of like sweetness, bit of vanilla, bit of that kind of.
And the cozy, comfy fire, which might be the alligator char.
Yeah, it is. No.
Yeah.
I think that it's quite nice. I think it is quite rounded on the nose.
Yes.
There is that little bit of like creaminess, which might be from those chestnut notes, but like again, like.
Because nutty flavors can be like really like smooth at times. So I wonder if like some of the smoothness is coming from this like chestnutty cask.
Maybe. But do you want to go in for the...
Most definitely.
Cheers. Finally, she gets to drink it.
Holy
moly.
Guacamole.
Holy guacamole.
That is good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real good.
Again, like on the nose, like there's a fair bit of oak in there, quite big hit of oak, but then you get this, like again, stewed orchard fruits.
It's definitely like stewed apples and oaky and spices, and there's like that little smokiness.
I'm getting as well a little bit of like dark, like not like fully dried fruits, but not juicy fruits. Like you think of like a plum or raisins where. Like, it's not dry, somewhere between juicy and dried. Like there's a little bit of like
there's something. It's well rounded out. Yeah. Oh, it makes my tongue feel tingly.
Yeah, there's a nice bit of there's that nice bit of like chestnutty note to it. Like again, kind of roundness, creaminess. I'm gonna go in for a second sip. I know you've already.
Let's go for another. I am seriously getting some like maple syrup cookie action right now.
Maple syrup, because maple syrup slightly, it's like caramel, but it's slightly spicier, slightly oaky. You get that. It has a distinct, and that's kind of it.
My Canadians would love this.
It's not a caramel. It's like a maple syrup, and it has that like thickness to it.
Yeah.
The mouthfeel isn't super dense, but is like quite rich.
I think it's not like the thickest.
Yeah.
But it's just like lovely.
It has lots of It's not oily. It's not like thick. It just.
This is a really well made whiskey.
Yeah, I think that's why they were really proud of it.
Can I have one, Roe Co?
I just plan to have another one of mine. No, it's quite nice. It has this, again, like those semi-dried fruits. There's like that oak stewed apple. Like that maple syrup is a good call. Like, 'cause it has that kind of like biscuity note to it.
Yeah, I think the cookie biscuit is
the cookie biscuit.
Yes. Well, cookie/biscuit, depending on what part of the world
you're in.
Again,
that kind of malty note will give you that like malty, biscuity, cooked grains, toasted grains, caramelized, that kind of sugars. Yeah,
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Do you want in for the finish?
Oh yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. This finish reminds me of a French bakery.
I think I know what you're gonna say. Like a kind of there's a bit of like the biscuity grain note goes from like a biscuity note into like a pastry.
Yeah.
Like a croissant or like one of those kind of like, or
you got that butteriness, or even like not a pound of chocolate, but like
what I was thinking, a cruffin.
A cruffin.
So if you don't know what a cruffin is, there'll be a picture up there. It's like this. It's like a croissant dough, so cru, and then it's like put into a muffin tin.
Yeah.
And then they dust it with a little bit of cinnamon sugar, so it gets this like extra brown, extra crispy, and you get this buttery, flaky pastry that's cooked like extra.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I'm getting. It's kind of like almost cinnamon, sugary, baked good.
I'm getting pecan maple Danish.
Very, very specific.
It is, because all that mapleness, go Canada. The pecans, maybe that's like that chestnut vibes. And it's just got that like that biscuity note because it's a baked good, and it's just all rounded and together in French baked perfection.
The finish isn't super long.
No, it is not.
It's medium to medium long. Like it's not super long, but it is. Yeah, it's not super short.
No.
Bit of spice, a little bit of dry almost. Like like with the alligator char, you get that like the tannins, you get the oak spice, you get that kind of like a little bit of dry. Yeah, but it's nice. It's I would say a pretty rounded out whiskey.
I think it's a well-rounded whiskey.
Yeah. So before we give our final thoughts on it, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. We put out whiskey reviews every Wednesday, and we put out cocktail recipes featuring whiskey every Friday. So if you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe. But right now, Rose, what do you think?
I love it. I wish I had a bottle. It's very tasty. I think obviously you can have this outside of Christmas, but like during those winter months, yes, I would not put this into a cocktail because it's so delicious
really
on its own.
What I like it. What I really kind of wish I had a chance to try would be just the single malt in ex-bourbon casks.
Oh, why?
And then compared against this.
Okay.
To see what those extra casks are adding, like the alligator char, the...
I want to try all of them. Yeah. Give me some alligator char. Give me that chestnut.
Just to see, because that way because this is the first whiskey that's all theirs.
Yeah.
Like, it's really nice. I'm like, oh, I always want to see, like, what's the baseline, and then how does it skew off? How does it go in different directions?
Yeah.
Just the little nerd in me really likes that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think for a first release, very good.
Oh yeah, they killed it. Absolutely, because not everyone's first releases are very good.
No, but I think the different casks made it nice and rounded. The fact that it's a Solera means that it is going to be
forever
consistent as well. There's going to be that consistency to it.
Very sure.
It'll be what? If they empty out 90%, then 10% of the whiskey, and then next time it'll be like 1% of batch 1, 10% of batch 2, and 90%-ish of batch 3.
Whiskey science.
And it'll keep going, so it'll always be that kind of consistent profile, which means it's nice. I think this is from batch 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many bottles were in batch 1, but there will be eventually batch 2 and batch 3.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see where the kind of profile goes from there. If it,
so there's opportunity to get further bottles.
Yeah, if like the alligator char kind of softens out, and you know what I mean, like to see how that vertical progression goes over years, or if it is basically the same. Very interesting. And yeah, again, just thanks to them for sending me the bottle. It is very nice. But yeah, I think that's all there's to say.
I think I have one more thing to say is you better hide this bottle from me.
Well, I think I'm going to keep on enjoying it. I'm going to hide this bottle, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.